Hey guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do some pulls for the Capricorn Full Moon coming up. I'm sorry for the delay in uploads. I have not been feeling well and I'm finally getting back around to it. So I hope you guys can forgive me. I'm gonna try and just do like one of these because I love this deck, but it's a little lengthy. So I'm gonna try and just do one, but we'll see. If more fall out, we'll just go with it. What's the message for Cancer with this upcoming Capricorn full moon? What's the message for Cancer? Oh, look, I really try to just get y'all one, okay? And obviously the one at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we've got relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Legacy of light, follow your own rhythm, and going beyond the normal. So I'm going to read these straight from the book because I want to. And, excuse me. Let's see. Well, let's start with the main one, with this one. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause, number 26. Well, let's just flip past it. Okay. It says, Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, still not feeling 100, so sorry. Fortunately, possess that in bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great big cosmic yes. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second-guessing, and the belief you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in the wild electrical pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without the hazy, sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? How will you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle and right timing. You are part of, not a part from, that process. The invitation to shift gears and jump on board the express train of life will feel exhilarating and perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of the darkness, you will feel pushed to turn away, to imagine it is all too much, and to create excuses about how your desires aren't grounded enough, that you are being too flighty or flaky, that you are not living in the real world. That is fear talking, not truth. If the sacred rebel is not awakened, we will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death. She knows the creative process. She just knows, and can be trusted to support us, her own creations, and becoming all that we can become. Does this mean that we become passive and just flow along? Sorry, that's my cat. Like a limp leaf detached from the tree and blown about randomly by the breeze? No. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind, completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing, even though the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. And it means speaking about your work, never hiding it away. Allow it to breathe the fresh air and be held in the gaze of another. Detach from the darkness that would say it is not enough, or must be the best thing ever, whatever that means, in order to be worthy of a place in the world. Instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, and it might not. All of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed, when it is needed, and how it is needed, according to wisdom. We just have to trust this within ourselves and within nature herself through the flow of life and to participate. You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is much more calling to you now. It's your time. Leap. So I want to take a break from reading because I want to explain. Sorry. I want to explain kind of what I'm getting off of that. Just the image itself shows somebody ascending, right? So I feel like Cancers, this full moon is going to be really powerful for you. It might be activating spiritual gifts that you have. It might be activating a journey you're about to go on. Maybe you're going through a dark night of the soul. Hold on. Sorry. But I do feel like you're definitely in the energy of transformation, and maybe this has been really hard for you and you're being led to follow a different path in life, and you're telling yourself that you're crazy, you're telling yourself, you're kind of gaslighting yourself. So this is reassurance to maybe not do that. That it's perfectly fine to feel that pull to go in a different direction. Even if you don't understand it now, in the future you will. Okay? I'm going to read Legacy of Light. Number 7, Legacy of Light. It says, you are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood but also in spirit. Perhaps these are the beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel from your heart and with belief in yourself. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence into the world, to be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. The oracle of legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you are making or have made or soon will make is one that is in alignment with your sacred purpose and spiritual path of healing and growth. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. If you were asking about a particular question and drew this card, then part of the answer to your question is that the issue at hand is one of the utmost importance to your spiritual growth, even if it seemed like a relatively insignificant question. The energy around this matter is relevant to your sacred birthright to shine. Perhaps you need to trust more, to know that all is well no matter what appears to be, and to ask for help and believe that you deserve to receive it. The legacy of light also asks you to call on the unconditionally loving support that exists for you every day. This light will offer you all manner of assistance. To not call upon it is like starving because you believe you have no means to acquire food, whilst a feast lays before your eyes. If only you would partake of it. Perhaps you worry that you are asking too much of those who wish to assist you. However, this is a mistaken belief. Those beings of unconditional love who assist us spiritually each day need to shine just as we do. When they are embraced for their purpose to assist with the spiritual growth of humanity through unconditional love, they too become a part of the legacy of light, shining bright with love and helping to illuminate the world. Although you may doubt your goodness at times, and being human does mean there will be some very dark moments on your path, this oracle affirms that you are coming from love, with the pure intention to simply live your life and do your best in the circumstances in which you find yourself. You are being asked to avail yourself of the help that is awaiting your request so that your own light can become a part of the greater shining legacy of divine brilliance made manifest upon the earth. This oracle is also guiding you to something in your family history or spiritual ancestry that is relevant to you now. Your spiritual ancestry can be recognized through the traditions and cultures you are intrigued by and interested in. They do not have to be the same as the spiritual traditions that you were raised with in this lifetime, although they may be. The influence of your family history and or spiritual tradition may be encouraging and constructive, but it may also be holding you back. Sometimes we unintentionally absorb the hidden fears of our parents or our religious upbringing, such as the belief that dreams cannot manifest or that we have to compromise to the point of losing what makes us feel truly alive. If you can relate to this or want healing just in case it is happening beyond the level of your conscious awareness, simply complete the healing process below. If you're involved in a group project, this oracle is asking you to stay true to the heart of why you began working together in the first place and to seek assistance, protection, and guidance from a source that loves all of you unconditionally. You can do this through the healing process below. Finally, if you need a jolt to recognize that you are a creative being, entitled to explore your ingenuity, perhaps through taking a class or pursuing your own artistic interests at home, then this oracle brings the particular guidance that yes, this is a part of your life path and you are encouraged to take it further. You are also acknowledged through this oracle as having some special creative and healing offering to make to the world in this lifetime. You will leave a legacy of light for the greater good upon this planet, and you will be lovingly supported in many ways by the great creative universal intelligence when you ask for help. If you don't know how to do that, just complete the healing process below. So I'm going to show you guys the healing process in case you want to take a screenshot and practice it later. And again, I'm going to pause because I'm going to kind of put these messages together. So this one was basically telling you to not let fear take hold of anything new that's coming into your life. Not allow yourself to be held back by what you were taught or what you were believing your life was meant to be. And then it's interesting that this one is very similar, but this is talking about reaching deep into our roots and allowing gifts to come through, whether they are psychic gifts, whether they are artistic gifts, allowing those gifts to kind of light up the world in a healing way, in your own healing way. So I feel like whatever transformation you're going through is activating something within you. That there are times you may think, I'm crazy. Who do I think I am to be thinking I can do this? You're going to have to follow that because your intuition knows exactly what it's doing. This is going to touch on that as well. Follow your own rhythm. Watch. Number 5. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense when it is time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you a special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it is time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are far more gentle, spacious, or nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythm of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive, energetic exchange. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. All that you will miss out on trusting by this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. If you have also pulled the inner trust card or feel intuitively guided to read that message now, well, you must honor this oracle has the even stronger message for you that you must surrender your attachment to doing things the way others think that they should be done, whether that be the hours that you sleep or the way you structure your day or your creative work. You must honor your need for rest and replenishment as well as your need for play. Sometimes an afternoon nap or trip to the beach will do far more for you than slogging away when you're mentally depleted and in need of rest. Sometimes you need to work when the energy is flowing. even though others may say it is too much and you must stop now. You are an empowered individual and you have the intelligence and wisdom to choose for yourself. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. So again, follow your own rhythm. This is talking about, the rhythms that your body is setting in place. So there will be days where your body's letting you know, right now is the energy to work. I have energy. I am in the energy of doing this, or I'm in the energy of creating, whatever it is. Sometimes it's just depleted and it's in the energy of resting. And this is about listening to yourself, especially if you're in transition in some sort of powerful transformation. There will be days where it's all about resting. It's all about letting it download into integrating into who you are. So listen to yourself. Now, going beyond the normal, this one says, on the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way. Even if it seems riskier or less safe, to rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust, so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a time and place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to quash our less rational but equally valuable decision-making tools. Intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may not... The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with the plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time to draw upon reliable methods and to prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You're being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work, where, and a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you, from the world or from your own conditioned nature, to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment, and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into a practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially acceptable. This is good. This is fringe-dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart far more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. So, Cancer. I feel as if there is an awakening here happening for you. A spiritual awakening. This spiritual awakening is possibly bringing in ancestral gifts, breaking generational curses. Your body may be feeling it on different levels. You're just going to have to accept that you're not going to be doing things in the traditional way anymore, whatever that may be, mean. Because the more you resist, the more difficult it's going to be. So, good luck. I look forward to whatever the full moon brings up for you. If you guys want to respond and let me know how it was for you. By the way, if you go to my profile, I posted the Maharashi meditation that we are going to be doing. If you want to join, please comment or DM me. Let's hope that we can make an impact, okay? All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.